let's foam roll the lower body. So depending on which foam roller you want to use depends on how much you can relax into the foam roll. If you're able to relax fully on a harsher, more firm foam roller, then pick this one. If it's really tight and you're clenching and you're holding tension and you're not letting the muscle relax, I would start with a soft foam roller and then work your way up to the deeper foam roller. Now, the reason we want to foam roll is because if you want to imagine an analogy, like a cold steak, a cold frozen steak being the muscle, because really a steak is a cow's muscle. And if you imagine this steak rock hard straight out of the freezer, how hard is it to stretch that muscle? Quite hard, right? Because it's frozen solid. So what you want to do is you want to warm it up. You want to saw out the steak, and in this sense, you want to do a little bit of a light jog, maybe a dynamic warm up to warm up the muscle first. And then it's easier to stretch the steak, right? What would make it even easier? Beating it with a mallet. And so although we're not going to beat our muscles with a mallet, we can use a foam roller, right? So we're foam rolling the muscle, we're warming up dynamically, and then we get into our stretches or our mobility exercises or our training. So foam rolling combined with a dynamic warm-up is the perfect setup for a good training session and to make sure that your training has its longevity, right? You don't get injured. So let's begin. For this exercise, I'm going to use the harsh foam roller, but remember, you pick the one that suits you. So here we're foam rolling the lower body, okay? And what we want to make sure is that we begin at the ankles because the ankles can get very locked up and we go all the way up to the hips. For upper body, we'll be beginning with the lower back and going up towards the shoulders. So for the lower body, we're going to begin with the ankles. Remember, if there's a certain area in your lower body that isn't tight, you don't have to foam roll it. You don't have to foam roll every part of your body. But I'm going to show you all the exercises so you know what to do. Now there's two key practices that I use for my foam rolling that have been very effective for me. The first one is massaging. So I'll just demonstrate with the calf, okay? So the first one is rolling the muscle like dough and rolling it towards the heart, because the heart is where the blood gets delivered and then delivered throughout the body. So we want the toxins to be delivered to the heart. So as we're foam rolling, we're going to foam roll and apply pressure as we roll towards the heart, and then we're going to lean off as we come back. So what that looks like in a calf foam roll is applying pressure, breathing, relaxing towards the heart, and then letting go. Foam rolling harshly, making sure that you can relax towards the heart, cool, and then letting it off. The other way we can foam roll, the second way, is to actually lengthen and contract the muscle in the same spot. So this particularly works well with a harsh foam roller like this. So we want to find a spicy spot, a tight spot in our calf, and we want to just sit it there like that. Oh, there it is, spicy spot, okay? And then in this position here, we're going to lengthen and shorten the calf muscle. So how we do that is flexing the foot forward and then flexing it up. Flexing the foot forward, flexing it up. Now there's no right or wrong way to do it. You can pick this exercise here, or you can roll it up, whichever feels best for you, depending on the muscle group, whichever one you are able to relax into. Okay, so the first exercise we're going to do, beginning at the ankle, is the ankle. So we're going to place the foam roller somewhere here at the bottom of the anterior tibialis, and we're going to open up that ankle joint. So that looks like this. Applying pressure here on the ankle, extending the ankle, contracting the ankle, right? And so what we're doing here is working on the anterior tibialis to free up the muscles around the ankle complex. Second way we can massage this is rolling towards the heart. Okay, so we've got the ankle and the anterior tibialis. This is responsible for a lot of shin splints. A lot of the time it's not actually your shin bone, it's the muscle next to your shin, which is the anterior tibialis. Okay, for the calf muscle, we want to do a few rolls on the right side and a few rolls on the left side. Remember, we can do this or we can do this. Then from the calves and the shins, we're moving up to the hamstrings. Now again, hamstrings we can roll out like this, or we can, see for the hamstring particularly, it probably is more effective to roll, okay? Okay, then we're going to turn over and do the quads. Now I like to do one quad at a time, but you pick your poison. Then we're going to do the adductors here because they add the leg back to the body. If you think of the leg going out, we're adding the leg back. So this is why they're called the adductors. In a frog stance, or your alternative method is finding that tight spot. Okay, that gives us the lower body completely done, other than the hip muscles, which include the glute max, the glute medius, which sits around here, and the TFL, the tensor fasciae latae, which these three muscles connect to the IT band, which lead to the knee. So if you've got tight hips, you'll often notice that that's connected to the knee pain that you might have, especially if you're running or doing a lot of gait pattern work. So rolling out the glute medius, TFL. And something I love to do with the hips is that I will open these hip muscles up and my lower back and roll left to right, needling out like dough. So a lying T stretch. Beautiful. And once you've warmed up the legs, you're free to go and stretch and then to tackle your leg workout. I recommend foam rolling at least once a week. It's not necessary every single time before a workout, but if you're doing a lot of running or a lot of training in general, it's really good to roll out the joints, the muscles.